Namaskar, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Chirudeep Devjishan. I am a student of class 9, section A. My roll number is 147. Today I have come up with an experiment, and the name of this experiment is energy generator experiment by using magnet. In this experiment, the requirements are a piece of compact disc, a plastic fan, two motors, two pieces of electric wires, two pieces of wooden pillars, and a piece of wooden plank. Now I will show how by the use of magnet this compact disc moves, and that produces magnetic energy that will transform into electric energy, and that will make this fan move. So I will make sure that this moves and the fan also moves. In this way the fan moves if the compact disc moves. Well, the utility and benefits of this experiment are: it is a very cheap, costly experiment. Anyone can do it at a very cheap rate. It doesn't require any direct electricity connection or electricity source. It saves both our time and both our money. And at the conclusion, I can say that it is a great source of renewable energy that is environment friendly. So that's all. Thank you. Namaskar. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Zarin Tasnim Pratika and I'm a student of class 9 from Cantonment English School College, and today I'm going to be showing to you my science project, which is safety barrier for unwanted intrusion in UN or military bases or any other important organizations or installations. So firstly, I'd like to start off with the fact that racism, fanaticism and terrorism has been increasing day by day worldwide. As a matter of fact, statistics shows us that every single year 50,000 people have been dying because of these kinds of unwanted intrusions and because of terrorist attacks by terrorists and other bad people with bad intentions. Through this project, I have created a mechanical barrier which will allow to stop these unwanted intrusions from very important places like government installations or from entry into the UN or military bases. Now, firstly, I'd like to start off with all the ingredients or requirements which were needed to make this whole model. Now, firstly, we've got rechargeable batteries, which are these. These have been installed in this model. And then we've got a relay, which is this thing over here. And then we've got a 3.3 volt regulator to regulate this thing over here. And then we've got a laser light, which has been installed right here in the model, right here. And we also needed a rectifier 4007 to control the voltage, which is this thing over here. And we also needed a transistor 547 to transfer the required voltage. And we also needed a buzzer, which was to create the alarm. And then we also needed an electric motor, which is this thing over here, this electrical motor. And then we also needed small LED lights, which are these emergency light systems. Here are the LED lights. And we also needed an LDR sensor, which is this thing over here. We also needed on and off switches, small on and off switches like these. And we also needed wires. Then we needed wooden boards for this model. And last but not least, we needed a glue gun to put all of these pieces together. Now, firstly, let's get into the procedure or all the things which occur in this model, which I'll be demonstrating in this model. Now, firstly, in this project, this thing right here, this is the laser light. This is the laser light right here, and with the cutoff sensor has been installed with this laser light right here. And moreover, these LED lights and the a buzzer for the emergency alarm has also been connected to the cutoff sensor, along with this mechanical barrier. The motor is connected to the mechanical barrier, and that motor is triggered by the cutoff sensor, which is installed right over here at the bottom. Now, suppose this is a car which is trying to get in through the gate without any permission or checkup. Whenever this car tries to enter through this gate, it is stopped by this barrier, this mechanical barrier. These lights start glowing. These are the emergency light, and the buzzer starts ringing, which is the emergency buzzer. And as soon as it backs off, these stop. What this will do is that it will stop the attackers or terrorists from entering through the gate, and it will also shock them because of the subtlety of this security alarm or the security lights. Everything is lighting up and ringing all at the same time, so this will be very shocking to them. Now, the benefits or usefulness of using this model and installing this in real life in important organizations is that this will help prevent any unwanted entry, like for example terrorists or psychopaths who have bad intention and who have intention of hurting other people, or any government officials or officers, people like that. And this also strengthens the security system a lot. This will strengthen the security system of different places a lot, because criminals will not be able to enter into any of these organizations easily anymore. And there is a reduced risk of damage due to attacker or car bomb explosion, which I've explained before. Terrorists or any people with bad intention will not be able to enter, so this obviously will increase the security up a lot. And it also increases the organizational safety, the safety of government institutions, organizations, sensitive installations, organizations, the UN or military bases, and etc. And last but not least, it is effective in any risk-prone area. For example, any place, for example, the residential areas in our country and all the other places in the world, and any schools or any places like the UN or military bases or the government institutions, any other places like that. So if this model is installed in real life in places all over the world where it is risky, or where people think that there should be some security system, this will prevent from criminals and terrorist organizations from entering into these organizations suddenly and hurting other people. So that is it, and this is how this model works. Thank you very much for checking out my science project, and I hope you enjoyed my explanation and demonstration of this project very much. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. I am Jainam Siddiqui of class 9 section C, and today I am going to show my project of science fair. This is my project. It is the name of my project is DIY hand sanitizer machine. As we all know, due to the current COVID-19 pandemic situation, we have to constantly sanitize our hands, but sometimes people don't tend to sanitize their hands. Not only that, when they use sanitizer, they use more than necessary, and this creates wastage. So I have come up with a project that not only helps to sanitize hands but also controls the wastage of the sanitizer. Let me show you how this works. First, with the press of a button, we put our hand here, then we will sanitize our hand. We can also change the intensity of the machine. When someone is finished, then he can stop it and close the machine. This helps me. Look, my hands are completely sanitized. The how this machine works is that there is DC motors, then sanitizer bottles. when someone presses this button, then then the motor starts. Then the motor starts, then it starts to move, then as a result it creates pressure on the bottle, and the pressure directs it to the sanitizer, and sanitizer comes out from the tunnel. As a result, we can easily sanitize our hands. So the components that I have used to making these projects are cardboard, DC motor, speed controller, DC motors, 12 volt battery, plastic spray bottles, copper board, and LED lights. This took me, it didn't cost me a huge amount of money. It didn't cost me a huge amount of money. So we can not only that, it is very much user friendly, as I have demonstrated it. So I can say that this my project is not only user friendly but also cost effective and can be used anywhere. Thank you for hope you all have enjoyed my project till now. Have a nice day, stay blessed. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum to all of my honorable judges and respected audiences. I am Mohammad Said Khan from Cantonment English School and College, Chittagong. I am a student of class 9A, Begum Rokeya House. My project on today's science fair is flood resistant rice, and I would like to show a PowerPoint presentation on it. So let's head to our PowerPoint presentation.
So welcome to my presentation on flood resistant rice. So let's start our presentation. First, let us discuss the problems caused by flood. Well, flash floods regularly affect around 30 million hectares of rice areas in Asian countries such as India, Bangladesh, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, and Indonesia. Estimated economic loss is around $400 million. And in China, about 22 million hectares of cropland were affected and 4.8 million hectares totally destroyed by flood in year 2019. And flood losses in the last decade were more than the total losses of cyclone, volcanic eruption, and tsunami together. And also, a most important thing is the submergence tolerance trait is not widely available to farmers who need it the most. Well, now let us see the problems of crops. All crops are sensitive to flooding during germination. Rice is exception, but tolerance is limited to coleoptile growth. In areas where direct seeding is practiced, early flooding can result in crop failure, and this is practiced in many places in our country. And replanting is costly and many farmers may not afford it. So here we see tolerance mechanism and specific environments of floods. Crops should be developed on specific type of flood environment, such as if there is flash flooding of short duration, submergence tolerance of the mechanism that will be developed should be sub 1 type, and if there is flash flooding of longer duration, the crops that will be developed should have the tolerance mechanism of submergence tolerance and also the regeneration ability as well. So other physiological traits are associated with tolerance: higher sugar contents in seeds, higher ethylene production, high activity of amylases during the first few days of hypoxia, slower rate of carbohydrate depletion under flooding. Here we see some characters of tolerant and intolerant cultivars. Here we see our native breed Dholamon. It can nearly survive in submerged state for around 9 days, and also there is a breed called Khaiyan. Its origin is unknown, but it can survive around 11 days. But some of the exotic breeds have been developed by Philippines and India, that are IR64 and IR42, and Indian one is FR13A. It can survive around 13 days in water. So flood tolerant rices all around the world. IRRI, that is the International Rice Research Institute, have been working to innovate flood resistance crop. They have discovered that a single gene named the sub1 gene confers resistance to submergence in flood for up to 14 days. Improved varieties incorporated with sub1 gene have shown a yield advantage of 1 to 3 tons following flooding for 10 to 15 days. Where some of the breeds of India are there, Sorna sub 1, MTU 1010, MTU 1001 and MTU 1140 are being cultivated in India. And there is also a variety from Philippines, that is IR64 sub 1, that is also innovated by IRRI. Well, now let us see the losses caused due to flood in Bangladesh. Every year, devastating floods damages various crops including oats, almond, jute and vegetables worth Taka 1323 crore. The flood destroyed summer vegetables on 10,000 hectares of land that caused losses worth Taka 235 crore and damaged mature jute worth 211 crore according to the estimate of Ministry of Agriculture. Every year around 50,000 farmers deal with devastating losses and the amount of affected cropland is 1.59 lakh hectares. Around 6.77 lakh hectares of croplands have been damaged by the recent floods that affected about 6 to 1 lakh people in 28 districts, says the government statistics. So flood resistance rise in Bangladesh. Well, flood losses every year are increasing in an alarming rate. So to deal with this, Bangladesh Agriculture Research Institute, that is BARI, has developed two new rice varieties including a flash flood tolerant variety that can survive 21 days in water. Those are BRRI 79 and BRRI 80. So let us see the characteristics of BRRI 79. BRRI 79 can be mainly cultivated in the northern regions like Pabna, Kushtia, Rajshahi, Rangpur, Dinajpur of our country where flash flood occur during rainy season. BRRI 79 can survive 21 days in water without incurring any impact on the yield potential. And the lifespan of this variety is 135 days, but it will increase if flooded. And the yield potential of this rice is 5 to 7 ton per hectare. And BRRI 180, a premium quality rice basically. BRRI 80 is like the Thai jasmine rice that has long grain rice and well known for its fragrance and taste all around the world. It can survive 14 to 20 days in water without interrupting the yielding rate. It can yield 4.5 to 5 tons per hectare and the lifespan of this variety is 120 to 125 days. And this premium rice can be exported to European and American countries due to its high quality. Well, my analysis on this crop is flood resistant crops will be a blessing for us and it will be a great way to minimize our losses and will also help us to prevent further economic losses. Those crops will be help prevent food shortages, and moreover due to their high yielding capacity and their great quality, these crops can be exported to foreign countries as well. Thank you everyone.
Good morning. I'm Rajrohit Nath from class 12 section B. Hope all of you are doing well. So today me and my friend teamed up for this science fair project. The name of our project is Fuel for Technology.
Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ramisa Fariha from class 12 section B. As my team said, the name of our project is Fuel for Technology. In this, we are going to show how we use water not only to create electricity but also to get internet access. So now, let's start with hydroelectricity. Hydropower. Hydropower or hydroelectricity refers to conversion of energy from flowing water into electricity. It is considered a renewable energy source because the water cycle is constantly renewed by the sun. Early uses of hydroenergy was from mechanical mill such as grinding grains. But today, modern hydro plants produce electricity using turbines and generators. The mechanical energy created by moving water spins rotors on a turbine. This turbine is connected to an electromagnetic generator which produces electricity when the turbine spins. There are two main types of hydroelectricity production, dams and runoff river. There are various sizes of hydropower plants that produce electricity. Large hydro, greater than 30 megawatts, small hydro, 100 kilowatts to 30 megawatts, and micro hydro, less than 100 kilowatts. The Hoover Dam in the United States is allowing 2074 megawatts, which is enough to serve 1.3 million people. Of all renewable energy sources, hydropower holds the largest share of worldwide electricity production. Now, since it is developed from the application of scientific knowledge, it has both pros and cons. Let's start with the pros. Firstly, it is clean, cheap, safe, and a convenient source of energy. Like from the perspective of our country, water is an available resource, which makes this project more cheap and convenient for use. Plus, it's a domestic source of energy, so why not? Secondly, it has lower maintenance cost. Once a dam is built, it works at a constant rate, producing electricity in a maximum amount, through which we can supply this electricity throughout the country without any interruption. And finally, it is the most efficient and renewable energy source because the water cycle is constantly renewed by the sun and whatnot. Now, let's talk about the drawbacks of hydroelectricity or hydropower. Since it is a project made through dams, so it is very expensive to build those dams. Secondly, it may affect the nearby wildlife, and sometimes water flow is unpredictable. But no matter, because we are soon going to overcome all these and make hydroelectricity our main electric source worldwide.
Now, let's head towards Li-Fi. It's pretty interesting.
Imagine a world where light becomes data. Li-Fi is simple but powerful. You all know how a light bulb works. When an electrical current is applied to an LED bulb, a constant stream of light is emitted from the bulb, which we see as an illumination. Since LED bulbs are electronic devices, the current and therefore the light can be modulated at extremely high speeds. This can be detected by a photodetector and converted back to an electrical current and therefore current data. This is the nervous system of Internet revolution. Li-Fi offers greater density. For example, if you have an average Wi-Fi router in your office, which provides up to 100 megabytes per second, and 15 people are connected to the router, it means you might be able to access your megabyte per second. However, with a Li-Fi network of lights, it offers up to 42 megabytes per light. Even if you have only 8 lights in a room, those 15 people can share more than 300 megabytes per second. That's dense and fast wireless communication.
Though it has some disadvantages, like presence of light is essential, low efficient in bulb, light cannot pass through objects. It cannot cover large area as radio waves. But if we look at the brighter side, it gives us efficient use of available energy source. It is possible to achieve 10 gigabytes per second, letting us download a high-definition film only in 30 seconds. Here, transmission of data is fast, easy, and cost-efficient. It also ensures higher security and consumes less energy. So, including all this, Li-Fi is definitely a great idea.
Through hydroelectricity, we can produce a huge amount of electricity which can provide the supply of electricity in a particular area and can also benefit the whole electricity supply throughout the country. It can not only help in power supply but also help in irrigation. Plus, with the generation of electricity, the Li-Fi technology will also come in handy. Now, the whole world is confining within one script due to the blessing of science and technology.
To make pace with the technology developed countries, the combination of these two projects will bring a great change in our country. Today, the world is based on technology, and to run these technologies, the significance of electricity cannot be overlooked. So this project emphasizes on the development of Bangladesh with the combination of technologies. Hope you appreciate our attempt to see a better world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I am A.K.M. Fazlul Kausif of Class 12 Cantonment English School College. The name of my science project is Biodegradable Plastic from Potato Starch. And first of all, we will know what's the word biodegradable means. Biodegradable means decomposition of anything by bacteria or living organism, thereby avoiding pollution. And nowadays, the problem of our country is the soil pollution, and the main causes of this soil pollution is the plastic. The plastic that we use are like this bottle. These are the PET plastics, which means polyethylene paraphthalate, and it decreases the fertility of our soil and makes our soil bad, so that we cannot harvest good crops, and the production cost and the production of our crops are less. So now I have came with a concept of preparing plastic from potato starch. Now I'm gonna show you the entire process. How did I make this potato starch plastic, and hope you'll enjoy it. Biodegradable plastic from potato starch. Introduction, objectives. These are the plastic bags that we use in our daily life in carrying the market materials, and this is the condition. This is the condition of our water bodies when we throw the plastic or the plastic bottles, and which pollutes the water. So now I'm going to start the process how I made the plastic from the potato starch. First, I've taken 2 potatoes and I've peeled the skin of the potatoes, and I have chopped the potatoes into pieces. After doing this, I have taken a mixture and I have grinded the potatoes, and after grinding I have taken a filter paper, and after taking the filter paper I have put the mixture in the filter paper and the precipitated parts of the potatoes, which are known as starch. Then I have added HCl, water and glycerol with the starch, and I have taken a Bunsen burner with tripod, and I have heated the mixture up to 5 to 10 minutes. After heating, I have added caustic soda, sodium hydroxide with the mixture, and I have put the solution in a plate and kept these in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes. After heating them, I have taken the solution and I have seen that it became the now we can see these have become hard as plastic, and these are the plastic from the potato starch, and these are the plastic bottle. And so these are the advantages from that we will get from the biodegradable plastic from the potatoes, such as these are renewable, degrade faster, reduce carbon footprint, lower fossil fuel consumption, lower energy cost in manufacture, do not contain additives harmful to health such as telephates or bisphenol A, no greenhouse gas emission. So now you have seen how I made the plastic from this potato starch. So I couldn't show you the entire process live because of not having all the ingredients like chemicals, because of the corona crisis going outside. And I can give you the surety that these plastics from the potato starch are biodegradable. It does not cause any effect to the soil, and it makes the production of our crops more and more, and it helps us to have a good environment around us. And these are very cost free, and and we shall provide this one in all the grocery shops that we have around us, and it will make the utility more stronger. So that's all about my project. Thank you very much.
Many natural disasters occur in our country on a regular basis, so I have tried to make a building that is immune to most of those major disasters like floods, droughts, cyclones, earthquakes and heat waves, and it can, in the occurrence of a catastrophic event like that, it can sustain itself. The first disaster that we are going to talk about is an earthquake. The following measures have been taken against that disaster to prevent it. Foundation. This building is constructed on flexible pads made of rubber, so when the base moves, it absorbs the seismic wave vibrations and the top structure remains intact. The technique of damping that I have used is pendulum power. Concrete and plastic rings are put underneath to channel shock waves, and innovative materials like metal alloys and fiber reinforced plastic wraps have made by a variety of polymer is used, which increases ductility of the building and To reinforce the building structure, I have used shear walls, cross braces, diaphragms, and moment-resisting frames have been used. Some flood-resistive protocols are elevation. This building has been created on a very elevated surface. It is way above the flood level of Bangladesh, so there is very little chance of a flooding, and if it floods, then this building has been made watertight with sealants and shields to the opening and secondary drainage pumps that removes water if it seeps through. The structure that I'm going to talk about is cyclones and storm surges. I have used impact windows in this building so that it can resist any strong gushes of winds, and to make the windows I have used polycarbonate windows, and it has an added layer of PVB, which is polyvinyl butyrol, which is a very strong window material. The doors are made of fiberglass instead of wood, because fiberglass is way more energy efficient than wood. The usage of the selection of concrete has been highly prioritized because it constructs the greater part of the home. The building itself has an aerodynamic structure so that the resistance of storm surges are emphasized in its physical structure itself. Ahnaf's building is a building designed to be operated independently from infrastructural support services. So what we are trying to build wouldn't be fully autonomous, but it will be able to sustain itself in case of a catastrophic event. The water system in this building is very upgraded. Rainwater harvesting system is used. A rainwater harvesting system is used, and it has like its personal well out here. The sewage system is one of the most important features in attaining sustainability. So the sewage water will be recycled again and again, and we won't be dependent on like sewage power plants to fully run that. And it has storm drains, so because this building is fully autonomous, we need to have electricity of our own. So in this building, we are producing electricity through the help of solar panels that are installed right here and wind turbines. It can sustain the use of organic farming and aeroponics, and it has a low effort food production system which includes urban gardening so that the residents can produce their own food in the time of a disaster. Because Bangladesh is prone to heat waves and droughts, this building has a multi-stage evaporative cooler so that it can be cooled from within, like the temperature can be controlled. The building would be equipped with sprinklers in every room, spraying either water or a mixture of chemicals in case of a fire hazard. You must be thinking, why is this building so unique? It's unique because of its remarkable silhouette. Most buildings we see around us are full of sharp edges and harsh lines, but this building has more of a rounded structure to it so that it's easier on the eye. Even though the structure of this building is quite luxurious in its appearance, the muted colors and contours will soothe the mind. Another point to note is that it has ethically sourced materials, because all the raw materials required to build this house will be collected, keeping in mind the laborers and the workers who will make the actual structure of it happen, and no animals or trees will be harmed in the process. And all of this brings me to my last point. I know my project might have a controversial effect. It doesn't go with the rest of the neighborhood, or it's too expensive to materialize. I know there are going to be negative connotations to it, like everything else, but keeping in mind the amount of people it will help and the economic aspect it will influence, I think it's worth it.
So it's a
Assalamu alaikum. I am Bija, class 11C, and I am here to show you my experiment, that is preparation of a potato battery. And also for this experiment, what we have to do is we have to take 4 to 5 medium-sized potatoes, and we have to fix an aluminum nail and a copper rod to each of the potatoes, and we have to connect them with the wires, and then we have to take the wire from the copper rod of first potato and the wire coming from the aluminum nail of first potato, and we have to connect them with the LED bulb such that the wire coming from the copper rod of first potato is connected to the positive end of the LED bulb, and the wire coming from the aluminum nail of first potato is connected to the negative end of the bulb, and so the bulb is lit up here. And so the mechanism behind this experiment is we have basically made a potato battery here, and for this battery preparation we have used two types of metals, that is aluminum and copper. Though aluminum and copper both are metals, but as aluminum is more reactive than copper, so the direction of electron flow is towards aluminum, from aluminum towards copper, and so the current flow is just the opposite, and that is from copper to aluminum. So that's the way of current flow, and through this electricity is conducted and the bulb is lit up. And so the utility of this project is it can be used as an alternative source of energy, as we doesn't have used external source of energy or external electrical source here. So, and it can be called the future energy of next generation, it can also be called. And we have used here potato, and potato is one of the most common vegetables in the world. So that's all from me, that's all from my experiment.
Respected teachers and dear students, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shainur Sami. I'm a student of class 12, section C, roll number 91. Today the name of my science fair project is the fire alarm system. Fire alarm system is a vital electrical component, but yet it has a very simple circuit design. To understand the mechanism of the fire alarm system, at first we have to go through the circuit diagram. So let us see the circuit diagram. The fire alarm system is a simple circuit which is based on main 4 elements: the thermistor, the transistor, the buzzer, and a battery source. Here we have used a 10K thermistor. Thermistor is basically a variable resistor which is temperature dependent. When the temperature increases, the resistance decreases, and as a result conductivity increases, such as we can use the heat from the fire source. So when the conductance increases, the circuit becomes complete and electricity starts to flow through the circuit. Here, after crossing the diode and other resistors, it comes to the transistor. Transistor is basically an on switch and it amplifies the signal. When the current reaches the base of the transistor emits and transmits current through the buzzer and the LED system. The buzzer, and as a result the buzzer and the LED starts to buzz and illuminate. Here the whole circuit is powered by the battery source. Now let us conduct our experiment. Here, as you can see, there is a breadboard circuit which is attached to the power source via a 5-volt battery. Here, if you see the components, the 4 vital components, this is the thermistor, the 10K thermistor. This circular electrode is the buzzer. Here we have a small section here, if you can see, this is the transistor, and the battery source is there, of course, and these other things are, this is the capacitor, these are the diodes. This help to complete our circuit. Now I will light the fire. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, because the conductance of the thermistor has increased, the circuit has become completed, and the illumination of the LED light and the buzzing of the buzzer. So ladies and gentlemen, this was my fire alarm system project. Fire alarm system, as I mentioned earlier, is a vital electronic device which maintains our security from our day-to-day life, and yet it helps thousands and millions of people each and every day to save their lives. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. The name of my project is Earthquake Resistant Infrastructures. So here in the name, the concept about or the idea about our project already came to your mind. So it is an earthquake related project, and due to earthquake almost 60,000 people die every year. And when I came to research about it, there came mainly two procedures by which these kinds of deaths can be prevented every year. So the first procedure is tune mass dampening. When you understand about the tune mass dampening, the tune mass dampener is also known as a harmonic absorber or seismic dampener, which is a device molded in the structures to reduce the amplitude of the mechanical waves coming from the earthquake. In this case, we use it in high infrastructures, hanging it to the roof of that infrastructure to stabilize the building's vibration during the earthquake period. So now let's show you the physical demonstration about how the procedure works. Before and after placing the weight or the dampener on it. So after seeing these two, you can easily say the differences between after and again having the tuning devices fixed. It mainly occurs due to the momentum of the heavy mass fixed like a pendulum within the above heights of the infrastructure. When the quake occurs, the center of the gravity of the infrastructure along with the equilibrium of it moves in one direction, for which the shaking of the above structure occurs. But when we use a dampener over it, a tuning dampener over it, or which is a pendulum here, over it, we can see that it moves to the other direction due to its momentum, for which the equilibrium is balanced again, and which gives the dwellers of the building time enough to move to a safe direction, of which we can save a lot of lives. And now you have been also thinking about what should be the height of this thing. So in this case, you have to keep in mind that it should be about 1/6. The height of the thing, or the placement of the thing should be about 1/6 of the total building height. So, and for your kind information, we can also say that it's also in procedure in the building or the highest building of Tenang in 101 of the country Taiwan. On the other hand, it's also used in Canada, Australia, and many other different countries for its dampening procedure. And about the height, if we come to it again, if it is too low, then we will see that it's moving too much. On the other hand, if it's too high, then the procedure will be blocked again. So it should be fixed according to the procedure, about 1/6 of the height of the total building. The next procedure is the base isolation process. In this process, we are using the straddling pendulum technology. So in this technology, there is a swing beam. Which is prepared like this. You can see the structure. It is actually made up of three parts. The first part is the wall base that I placed here. Then the second part is the plates, the string plates, which move Philip over it, and the third part is the wall infrastructure above it to keep it contact. So when I move it, you can see the movement inside it. So you can see the movement inside it, but the above remains isolated. So you can see the movement in this video. You can see this process as only one directional, so but the earthquakes will not be in one directional all the time. So in this for this process there will be three more plates, three more devices like this set over and over again to the three directions that it could come. You can watch the procedure how it will be fixed in this way. Not only this, as the infrastructure is of great value and it's a huge load of mass, then we need at least 4 of these things to be fixed together to isolate the whole building process or to support the whole structure. They form the base, they in totally form the base isolation process, which you can see in this video. It has the purpose of absorbing the seismic waves energy and isolate to reduce the initial shake of the horizontal ground in the pendulum. In this way,
homemade alternative of isopropyl alcohol to fight against COVID-19. So basically the alternative that I am gonna use is ethanol. Let me tell you why. First of all, let us say that ethanol have a basic mechanism of the hydroxyl group as well as the isopropyl alcohol have, and this hydroxyl group will help in denaturization of the protein of COVID-19 virus. And these criteria have these 3 alcohol, that is methyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol and isopropyl alcohol. So basically among these 3 we have only one option, that is ethyl alcohol, that can be made in our home very much easily. So let us go to the procedure how we will produce this ethanol. So basically we need some lukewarm water, sugar or glucose and activated yeast. So here let me show you that the sugar mixing with the water will produce glucose. So basically we will directly go for glucose, but as some of we don't have this glucose, we will first mix this sugar with water in order to use this glucose here, and then yeast enzyme that will act as invertase enzyme, and we will go for the production of 4 moles of ethanol, that is ethyl alcohol, and 4 moles of carbon dioxide. So we will take some water here, this lukewarm water, and we will go for some sugar here. So we don't need any super saturated solution, so we will go for proper application of sugar. Make sure that you mix it well. And now in this solution we are going to add the activated yeast. So the ratio of the sugar and the activated yeast must be 3:1, and now you can see that the yeast have started already its work. So we will use a balloon here so that we can be assured that our process is going well. So this balloon will have basically collecting the CO2 from the yeast that will produce in this solution. This overall process is called fermentation. So here in this balloon we will get those CO2, and this will be the ethanol solution. We will be used as disinfectant in our hand or substance area, but the only disadvantage is this can't be stored for more than 2 days. So this is what we are going to use as alternative of isopropyl, as many of us have.
And now it's time to declare the name of the prize winners of Science Fair 2020 by a slideshow. thank you all for joining this wonderful event. Before leaving, I would like to call upon our Honorable Principal Sir to share his valuable speech with us. I'm Ahnaf and I'm signing out.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hope all of you are safe and healthy by the grace of Almighty. The crisis we are going through right now is crucial beyond our imagination. But we must go on with our lives, and especially the students must not deter from their studies. Students must utilize their time properly, either by studying or engaging in productive activities. All the students who participated in the online science fair have done a brilliant job in showcasing their science projects, and I wish the best for all of you. Everyone, stay safe, healthy, and take care. Allah Hafiz.